Hello and welcome to the first episode of Tiger TV News for the 2019-2020 school year. I'm Leo Hoomer.
And I'm Drew Higginbotham.
And we're back with a brand new intro and a whole new group of reporters.
For our first show, we're going to be looking at Fleetwood's recent sports success, the return of a beloved teacher, and a music trip fundraiser.
First up is sports. The Fleetwood Tigers have been having an unprecedented season so far this year with a 5-0 record for the first time in the team's history. Here's Jake with the coverage of their fourth win against Upper Perk Yeoman.
The Fleetwood Tigers took on the Upper Perk Indians at Upper Perk on Friday night, looking to go 4-0 for the first time in school history.
I want to get us to the playoffs, win a few games, leave my mark on this school.
Tigers looked sharp in the first quarter, jumping to an early 7-0 lead on a touchdown pass to Tanner Maddox. The Indians responded with a score, tying it 7-7. The teams traded scores again, making it 14-14 in the second quarter. Fleetwood went into the half losing 20-14 until Christian Moreno scored and Alan Snyder converted the two-point conversion to put them up 22-20. The Tigers added one more score after a fumble recovery and won the contest 30-20.
I think it's great. I think we need to keep building momentum after this win, finish with a great record, make it the playoffs hopefully, and keep doing our thing.
I'm Jake Hess reporting for Tiger TV News.
On September 5th, 2019, the Fleetwood girls varsity soccer team played Berks Catholic in a challenging game. Before the game began, the team had great warm-ups and high spirits. The game started with the opening lineup and the national anthem, which then led kickoff.
I feel like they wanted to win more than us, and we didn't start getting into the game until more into the second half.
By the middle of the first half, the score was 0-0. The game continued to be an even match until Berks Catholic scored a goal into the second half.
I think that we should be mentally prepared like they were. Like they seemed more focused before the game, and we just weren't ready. We'll be ready next time, though.
Fleetwood was unable to score a goal with the game ending 0-1. The girls are hopeful going into future games. Reporting for Tiger TV News, I'm Claire Campbell.
On Thursday, September 17th, the Fleetwood girls varsity volleyball team faced off against Brandywine Heights. This was the team's fifth game of the season with a pregame overall of 2 wins and 2 losses. Fleetwood's team showed a lot of cooperation in the pregame warm-ups, and this cooperation carried over to the game with them winning 25-9 in the first set.
The team definitely did a better job than I thought they would because Brandywine has typically been a super competitive team. I'm glad that we had a super solid defense and we had a super solid offense, and then our setters got to run everything. So our team just worked really well as a group instead of as individual parts, which is always nice.
The second and third sets were also large wins for the Tigers, with the second being a 25-12 win and the third being a 25-13 win. During the games, Allison Bradley had 10 kills, 3 aces, and 5 blocks against Brandywine, with Rachel Gray having 19 assists and Celeste Cook having 3 kills and 6 aces.
Honestly, I think I did pretty okay. Technically sound, but there's definitely some things you can be more improved on and some things you can be more aggressive with. Volleyball is kind of a game where you can keep learning no matter what level you're at.
Brandywine had tried their hardest, but were not matched for Fleetwood's Tigers. This 3-0 victory is a good boost for their record, bringing them up to a 3-2 record. This season is looking to be very bright for the girls' varsity volleyball. Reporting for Tiger TV News, I'm Trevor Runchik.
Thank you, Trevor.
In other news, the music department hosted its 5th annual Color Run in support of its upcoming trip to Baltimore in November. Here's Griffin with more.
On September 14, 2019, the Fleetwood Area Music Association held the 5th annual Color Run at Fleetwood Area High School. The cost to run was $15 for students and $20 for adults. All proceeds benefited the music department trip to Baltimore in November.
Yeah, there was a brainchild of Mrs. Reeser as a fundraiser, and because it was such a riot and the kids loved it so much, they decided to keep it going.
The starting point was at the team lockers in front of the high school. The track was set up all around the high school and middle school with markers placed to keep students on track. Along the track, there were color gates where runners would be blasted with different colors. The finish line was just outside of the office entrance, where runners were given free water and food to cool down after their run.
It was very enjoyable, despite the fact that this was my 6th one, I enjoyed every single year.
The runners seemed to enjoy the run overall, as it was a fun way to spend a Saturday morning, and also a good way of raising money for the music department trip. Reporting for Tiger TV News, I'm Griffin Price.
Thanks, Griffin.
And finally, Senora Lewis, beloved Spanish teacher who has returned to Fleetwood after a year sabbatical. Here's Luke with more on what she did on a year off.
Beloved Spanish teacher Mrs. Lewis returned to Fleetwood Area High School for the 2019 to 2020 school year after a year-long sabbatical. The purpose of her sabbatical was to go and take more grad courses to try and obtain a second master's degree, and to accomplish most of it within her year off.
It just seemed that I could do it in a shorter amount of time if I took the sabbatical and with less distraction.
Over the course of the sabbatical, she learned a lot of strategies that she was able to utilize in the classroom. She took these classes mostly on weekends with other educators in surrounding counties, which helped her see different perspectives of what other educators do in the classrooms. She plans to use all that she learned as the basis of her teaching for this school year.
I learned a lot, and really the philosophy behind the program that I was enrolled in matched up very nicely with my own philosophy of teaching. We need to recognize that each of our students is an individual. They all learn differently, and we need to find out what motivates them in order to get the most out of them and to teach them as much as we can.
Students and teachers alike are ecstatic that Mrs. Lewis has returned, as she is one of the most popular and friendly teachers around. If you want to stop in and say hello, she's located in room 11, and she will definitely be willing to brighten up your day. Reporting for Tiger TV News, I'm Luke Gilbert.
And that wraps up our first episode of Tiger TV for the school year.
Be sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel in order to find the newest episodes sent directly to you.
And tune in a few weeks for our next show, which will be a homecoming special.
Thank you for watching, and we hope to see you next time.